So these are 2 losses from Chozin, which is nice. It's not nice to see, obviously, but it's good to have losses so you can work on them. DDD, okay. So DDD and who? Oh shit. And Bayo. Okay. So I believe that tab goes first. Now we call. Hey, can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Nice. What's up, man?
How you doing?
Good. I just had to get everything working on my end. I'm gonna
Okay.
put you there. I'm gonna put this a little bit lower. There we go. Okay. Let's get into your VODs.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, I have to screen share. Mainstream.
So yeah, as I mentioned, they're basically like they're my winners and losers losses, which is very fortunate, I think, that I both got them both streamed.
Hmm.
Um, and they're against 2 very good players, so that I lost to second and third in that tournament. Um,
Nice.
and I ended up with fifth.
Who did you
But
play
it's yeah.
first, the DDD or the Bayo?
I'm sorry.
Who did you play first, DDD or Bayo?
DD.
Okay. So I'll focus
My
on.
win. Yeah.
Okay, so I just kind of want to watch the first stock and see.
Yeah. So I guess a little bit of background too. This is a local DDD. I think I mentioned him before in one of our lessons,
I think so,
and
yeah.
he is incredible. Like he is, I dare say, probably one of the best DDDs in the world. Like apart from Adamus,
Damn.
he's nuts.
We have an insane DDD too. I think he changed his tag to Castelia, but he used to go by Riley.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, no, he's taken sets off like insane Min and Pikachu players, which is ridiculous. But
That's dope.
anyway, okay. He's clearly a very good player.
Yeah, I never beat him in tournament yet.
Good shield.
This I think the third time I played him.
Yeah. Forward throw, wow.
Yeah, I think that was a.
I'm surprised I didn't even like register that it was a grab. Okay. Good F tilt on his part. Nice. Nice. He's dead. Oh yeah, he was dead for the up air. He wasn't dead for the air dodge. Okay. Nice. Playing really well so far.
Thanks.
Okay. That was a really good play. That up tilt on the platform. Good grab.
Yeah, I just know I don't want to get ledge trapped here, so I started doing a little bit of quick draws on the ledge.
Yeah. Okay. You're hesitating a little bit, and it's probably because this is a top player or like someone that you know is really good. But like,
Yeah, for sure.
this is Nair. There's no empty hop there.
Yeah.
But that's okay. That's perfectly normal. Okay. Oh wow. Okay. Keeps happening. There we go. Got a quick pause. So he's noticing that you're trying to get over Gordo at this point. I think now you'll start to see some adaptation from this player, or you'll start to go under it. This is kind of where the set is decided. Like, can you deal with Gordo?
Yeah, for sure.
kind of just enjoying watching this set. I'll talk about it after because I want to see what happens.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. He just caught you going high, and you didn't auto cancel it, so it's like, you know.
Yep.
Okay. DDD combo. Good side B. Yeah, that's that side B. Like without, like you're doing a side B from a reactable distance.
Yeah. I felt at the time like that was my way of with punishing him. But I honestly need to just understand a bit more on how to whiff punish Gordo.
Yeah, it's not, you don't even have to whiff punish it. You just hit it back.
Yeah, he's really good though at doing like the called the tennis move. Like he
Yeah.
just like when like DD throws it back, I just know that from experience. He catches that almost every time.
No, I get that. It's just like, I don't know. I don't think you should hyperfixate on whiff punishing you can also like just gain space because he threw it.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, good fair. Okay, so let's watch this back because there's a couple things we can go over. But honestly, I think you played it very well, all things
Okay,
considered. Game 2 is what I really think is going to be the difference. Was it a Game 3 set or?
It was a Game 2 set. But I think I did play better overall in Game 2.
Okay.
So
I'd like to see that.
I think you'll like it.
Good parry. Okay. How did you get to 50 here exactly? I know he did down throw and air. Alright, so getting grabbed by deity is usually like you're probably extending a little bit too much. Even if you are technically safe on shield, like yeah. He parried it. So
right.
that's fair. But the second parry, like that's now you have to worry about how you're landing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And side B is just too early. Like the difference between side being here when you get hit to the side, the difference between side being up here and side being here is nothing really. The only difference is that here, if you were to fair, you can't air dodge. You're stuck getting hit by it. Like this is just way too early. You're never at risk of not snapping ledge from this distance. So like just pre-committing is not what you want to be doing, especially versus a character that struggles to hit you in general. Good parry. Very clean way of dealing with that. Yeah. I don't know. This is an iffy situation because I'm not sure if you get the true second aerial. Because you get the parry, you get a perfect punish here, and you get the... Yeah, I'm not sure... Yeah, you can't land on platform there. So I actually really like staying on stage and trying to catch a landing. And you end up catching a landing, which is nice. Perfect. A bit of an overcommitment, but I think it was justified. Good F tilt.
Awesome.
Okay. Yeah, rolling into the corner. It's like it's really annoying here because you're playing well. It's just that you're slightly afraid, so you're taking the more defensive stuff, and he's just punishing you for it.
Yeah.
I think if you were a little bit more,
I noticed that too, looking back.
Yeah. Like if you were a little bit more confident here, and you just went for the up B, even if you get punished, it's like, you know, it's not like he really is not going to be killing you, right? Like there. Like that, I don't mind. Right?
Yeah.
And like even if you die, you have to be confident. Even if things don't work out, you have to be willing to go for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially against characters like DVD, it's
exactly.
very important.
Exactly. You also don't want to be taking too many risks. Just in general, I don't know how you got that, but regardless, like you don't have to. Like I said, up B just because up B is a coverage for roll. But like in that situation, you can just kind of space. Like this is a perfect example. He can't really punish you for a safe landed aerial. No character really can, but like DDD in particular is just gonna get demolished if you pressure him safely, right? So
yeah,
you don't have to approach him. That's a really big deal, right? When he's throwing out Gordo, he can swing it back at you. He can swing it back at you, and it can become a guessing game. But like, compare that to something like Charge Shot, where Samus is always winning for firing it. Like even if he can hit it back, you can still like jump over it, right? And then you're approaching him with safe stuff. Like something really important to keep in mind is like you only have to hit him with a nair. You only have to win neutral a maximum of like 5 times. You don't really have to be pressing forward. There's no need.
Yeah, for sure. Because he gets juggled so easily.
Yeah. Not even that. Just nair fair does like 25. So if you do that 4 times, he's at 100.
Yeah.
With staling, it's like it might be 90, but like they're at kill percent after 5 nairs if you get the combo. And that's like the bread and butter combo. That's not even with the other aerial.
Yeah.
That you occasionally get. So like you don't really have to worry too much. And then here with the lead, you don't have to approach him at all. Yeah, that's unfortunate, but like he was invincible. Perfect. Like up to this point, I don't think you could have been playing too much better, minus some of the fear stuff. I really do think this is really good. Yeah, and then there you just overextended.
Yep.
The DDD up tilt is really, really good, and honestly, that was a very smart use of it. But like, you don't ever have to go that high to pressure.
What do you recommend I should have done instead? Like, just try to like to up tilt or like.
I think
you
were trying to catch jump, and like that's fine. The only problem is you're at kill percent and he's not. If it were the other way around, I would have loved that because you get hit, and you're at maybe 40 by that up tilt. But if he gets hit, he dies if he's at high percent. But because he's at low percent, I would say you just want to stay underneath him.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because as soon as you went, because this, even though it's not necessarily bad, it still kind of ties into the overextension from before. This up air on the platform, because he can't go anywhere, right? So going that high, this by the way is a very hard read on you. It doesn't look it. It looks like he's just kind of mashing, but like to up tilt this is really like big brain. Like he dropped shield here. He went for this move here. That's yeah, that was a call.
So right there, I could have like tried to. Do you recommend like trying like to at least up tilt for more shield pressure, or do you what would you do particularly in that situation?
Personally, if I wanted to stay under him, I would just short hop. You can up tilt, but up tilt, even though it doesn't necessarily, it wouldn't lose. I don't think he would have anything that would kill you, because even if he was facing away from you, drop through back air is not fast enough. But he could jump away, right? But if you short hop, he'd have to drop through the platform and hit you with an aerial, and it still wouldn't kill you. So like, basically you want to make your opponent's counterplay as specific as possible, right?
Yeah.
So like, if he has to drop through aerial you in order to escape that situation, you're winning, because if he's ever in that situation again, you can like he'll never be able to predict in those situations every single time what you're forced to do, because next time you might up air, next time you might up tilt, and next time you might dash back from the platform toward the middle of the stage, right? So I personally would short hop. You could also dash away from the platform. That's another very safe option. The only problem is that loses to a hard mash. Like it's like you might die for that if he goes for a back air at 120.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can do a lot. But you can also just kind of like space the up air in such a way that you're to the left or right of him instead of in him, like because you're kind of like in up tilt range. But that can like he can counter it with anything. You just want to make that counterplay very specific, right? He has to do this at this timing with this precision. Because like if he weren't already dropping through the platform to aerial you and you had short hopped, by the time he saw you short hop, it's too late. Because you're already landing with the next up air. And you're poking him because his shield sucks.
Yeah.
So like
that's a really good point.
I would personally short hop. But you can do basically anything that doesn't put you above him.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I honestly think I was like at that moment that I was trying to do short hop up air, but for some reason I always come up with like a full hop. I don't know if that's just like
I fully understand that instinct. That makes a lot of sense to me. Like because you want to cover the jump, you want to cover that escape option.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to go into docs. I'm sorry, I haven't actually created the document yet.
Oh,
Chozin,
no
is this our
problem.
5th session?
Yes.
I think so,
Yep.
yeah. Awesome. So let's write this down. So Chozin 5th session. So when pressuring platforms at high percents, keep in mind the percent of you and your opponent. Well, when pressuring platforms, keep in mind the percentage of you and your opponent. Okay? So that you don't needlessly overextend. And then I'm going to put in notes, make sure you, what's the word for it? You make your opponent's counterplay as specific as possible. And then I'm going to put in parentheses, force them to guess, to escape, and you will win the guessing game more often.
Yeah.
Yep. And then the other thing that I mentioned was make Gordo, in particular, a guessing game. Hitting it back, even if DDD or D3 can hit it back again, isn't necessarily wrong. Really, what you want to be doing is mixing up how you deal with it all the time. Like
Right.
hitting it back, yes, but if they know to hit it back every time, then you're still in a bad spot. Like I see people say, "Oh, DDD's easy, just hit it back," but that's not true either. Really, you want to be forcing him to respect you either hitting it back or not hitting it back. Because, for example, you mentioned that he's very good at getting the timing of the tennis thing.
Yeah.
If he expects you to hit it back and you jump over it, he's in lag, right? That's what you want to be with punishing. Not really him throwing the Gordo. So
Yeah, because I recall situations where like I don't really expect it, so when I hit it and then he reflects it back, like I'm already approaching.
yeah, exactly.
So that's definitely the wrong move. I should be staying on that position, I guess.
Yeah. One thing that's really
React
nice
to
about
when
Gordo.
he.
Yeah, you
I'm
can.
sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry about that. You can react to it too,
You're
but like
good.
one thing that's really nice about Gordo is that it's not really great pressure. You can block it.
Yeah.
Like blocking it is so powerful, right? Especially if
Yes.
he's like
That's
out
true
of
too.
range. And if you're in that range where throwing Gordo can get nared, right? Because one thing that's really powerful is if he's throwing a Gordo as you nair, you hit it back to him and it's impossible for him to send back. So you get a combo off Gordo. If you're in that range where the nair is possible, then he has to really hesitate. He has to really think like, should I throw it? Because you could either land with nair and like he should have done it earlier, or you land with nair later and the Gordo gets sent back. So like basically you want to force your opponent to guess more often than not, and just force guesses as much as you can, especially against characters who can't really enforce their will. Like DDD kind of plays around your mistakes.
Yeah.
This character, like obviously, like some mistakes are very hard to avoid. It's not like this is, you know, not his accomplishment and it's just your failure. But at the same time, like it's very difficult for DDD to like play a game. He's just kind of like forcing you to deal with Gordo and then hitting you for it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, that was a beautiful grab. Ooh. Like
Yeah.
I think you're playing really well. It's just that you have I think that there's just some sort of like disconnect with how you should be dealing with Gordo.
Yeah.
Another thing that's interesting is that you're trying to get over it consistently. One thing that's really, really powerful against this move is going under it. And right now, I believe this is because it's kind of new and he's not sure exactly how you deal with it every time. He's putting it in such a situation where it'll bounce. So it kind of covers short hop and like full hop to an extent, but it'll also cover the ground if you were to run in. But
Yeah.
you can run under this too. Right? You don't always have to full hop over it. You can run under it, especially right here. this particular one, if you had just stayed grounded and sprinted at him, you're under it.
Yep.
And that's hard to think of if you're not used to that counterplay, because that one in particular covered both the ground and the air very well, but like running under it's powerful. Yeah, and at this point he's
Yeah, because
feeling it.
he can do like different angles, right? Like
Yeah,
where it
he can do
launches.
one that like goes along the ground. He can do one that goes really high to anti-air, and he can do the middle one. And I think he's doing the middle one on purpose to kind of like test the waters.
Yeah.
Okay. See, the side B I like only when there's Gordo out, because you can hit it back at him, and you can still usually act before Gordo can be hit back at you. So like
Yeah.
this side B, I wouldn't mind if you did early to hit Gordo back. Like that was fine. Good get up attack. A good regular get up to hit him. Get up attack would have been wrong there. It would have been less of a punish than you could have gotten.
Yeah. I don't remember getting ledge trap too hard this game.
Yeah, I think really what it
which
is
was
that
nice.
you're not getting ledge trapped, which is good, but he's also hitting you for going over him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like it. I promise you, if you forced him to guess between you going to ledge, you going at him occasionally. So with side B in particular, you can hit him for Gordoing, which is so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he's at ledge, you can side B into him, and the Gordo will like be reflected back, which you can mix in.
Yeah, I never took that into account.
But like,
That's definitely a good
yeah, I'm gonna put that on the
option.
dock. Quick draw into Gordo at ledge to send it back at DDD. Yeah, as a mix-up, of course.
Awesome.
You don't want to do that. Yeah, you don't want to do that too often, because he can start to, deal with that. But basically, like, that's a really powerful thing you can do. Yeah, and at this point, because you're down, it becomes a little bit more difficult. How did you lose the stock? I'm sorry, I didn't see it. That was a beautiful use of shield, by the way. You beat the Gordo very nicely. Yeah, like there you miss space, but that's perfect. That's what I mean. Like he doesn't get anything for that.
Yeah.
He gets a little bit extra stage. If you're mixing properly between hitting Gordo back and blocking it and jumping over it, it's very difficult for DDD to get anything off of it at any given time, because he has to know what you're going to do about it. Yeah. And then here you kind of start to press, which is a natural reaction to being down versus DDD. Nice. See, this is an example. I don't think you intended to do this, but this is an example of you going under Gordo.
Yep.
Right. Which is perfect. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you can get under Gordo and over Gordo, again, like the more ways he has to deal with you getting around the projectile, the more difficult it becomes for him to deal with you. And like this situation where you get hit by the Gordo, even though you get under it, I think it's right here. Yeah, this would be great for you if it were even. If it were even stocks, that's a great trade for you. But it's just you lost the lead, so it became very difficult. Yeah, that's an insane setup. So I think here he was trying to break your shield, or he was trying to poke you, because he went for side B really high. You see this? And then he lands. Yeah, he tried to poke you. It just ended up not working out. Yeah, he's trying to like gimmick you, but you got around that very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it whenever he does the side B. So funny.
Yeah, that's actually like, it's one of those things, like you can kind of just shield it, unless it's one of those specific setups where he's trying to like get a back air poke.
Yeah.
But here, actually, I've noticed this. He's trying to get pivot grabs on you.
Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier too. He loves like pivot grabbing a lot.
Because I think it's just a good thing for DDD. Like he almost got it here.
Yeah.
So the
he
way
gets
you
a lot more range that way.
Yeah, the way you beat this is just nair.
Yep.
Because I think what he's trying to do is whiff punish Nair with the extended grab. But if you just Nair it, like for example, if you just full hop and you delay your Nair, it's almost like you're beating a parry. Like
Yeah.
delay Nair to beat spot dodge. I'm just gonna put everything slash parry slash pivot grab. There we go. Yeah, he goes for up tilt as an anti-air. Yeah, like there. See how like this is just raw conditioning?
Yeah.
He's going for the side B here. And then he just reads your jump backwards. Like that's just a hard call out.
For sure. Yeah.
F tilt was smart. That was just a multi-hit mix up. Could get up attack. That's a great that's a perfect trade for you. Even at this percentage deficit. It's a great trade. Yeah. It was a good game. It really was. It's just that he what's the word for it? He took advantage of the fact that you weren't mixing up with Gordo as well, and he just outdamaged you because of it.
Yeah. Also, do you think I had a lot of issues, like particularly in disadvantage too, like how you pointed out with the side B? Sometimes I let it go, or I activate a little bit too early.
Personally,
Um.
I think the side B is definitely not the right option. However, he wasn't really punishing you for it. Like I've seen Ikes
Okay.
die for that, so it
Yeah.
could have been a lot worse. But yeah, it definitely in some situations kept you out. Honestly, I would say he wasn't dealing with it very well. He got hit for it more than anything.
That was a misinput.
Yeah, I think you're good. I like the Smashville counter pick, honestly.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a good move. Uh,
Honestly, DDD is
this
one of those matchups where it doesn't really matter. Oh,
this
okay.
first stock is. I was gonna say this first stock is kind of crazy.
Yeah, he did really well here. A lot of good setup. Hold on. There we go. So, I want to kind of break this down hit by hit. Yeah, so you get an eruption, which is really funny. The
Yeah.
roll here, I don't know how to feel about it. It's not, it's kind of like just kind of a crazy mix up, but that sometimes is warranted. So I'm kind of down for it. So nice. The grab, I think,
Yeah.
is a little too far, but the roll is fine. Good side B.
Yeah. You think I should have maybe like down tilted there, or
Down tilt works. Honestly, I think rolling it does limit your stage presence, so I wouldn't jump. Yeah, down tilt works because it like if he jumps, then you can anti-air still. You can run under him. If he
right?
right, essentially the problem is that you're in the corner, right? The roll mix
Yeah.
up is it's a mix up because you're going into a bad spot. It's definitely suboptimal, but it's something that your opponent won't really expect. So I don't mind it. You roll into the corner. Yeah, I'd say down tilt there. Grab is a little too
Okay.
slow. And even if down tilt's not guaranteed, you can still follow up. This is just a crazy sequence. I don't fault you too much for this because this is just kind of weird. I don't mind the up B here because you land first, right?
Okay.
Yeah, you do. You side B, you hit him. Up B here, right? Because you see him come in, but that's just such a weird Gordo situation. You're still in disadvantage. Double jump straight up, I'm not a fan of. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just about to say because it opens you up to getting your landing punished. And you actually do it a couple times just in this stock. But yeah, double jumping is fine in this situation. It's risky if they hit you out of it, but you have too many ways of jumping for that to be super consistent. But I would say you want to jump usually in a direction. Jumping straight up usually opens you up. So don't double jump straight up after getting hit.
I was
Okay.
thinking if I double jump away, he might still be able to catch me, but if I double jumped forward, I would probably be in a safer position.
I would say generally you want to avoid your opponent.
Okay.
Like the farther away you are, the safer it is. The only problem is that they can always chase you. So
Yeah.
that jump is, I would say, slightly safer. Hold on.
Okay.
This one. Oh no. This one's risky because you jump. in such a way. And not only that, you fastfall air dodge immediately. So like really, I want you to consider this situation, right?
Yeah.
I want because I kind of want to look at this particular one. When you're here and you get hit at this angle, right? You can do so much. You have so many options, right? You can land with Nair, you can air dodge immediately, you can directional air dodge, you can land on the platform, you can land off the platform, you can do any type of aerial that you want, like even though that's kind of risky. You could even counter because of Gordo, maybe, right? You could do so much here, right? But as soon as you
Yeah.
jump, you can't double jump anymore. You've completely burned that resource. And now you have to land eventually. You still have all your other options, but you're higher up in the air and they have more time to react to you landing. They
Yeah.
have more time to see which way you're going to go. And because of this, you get hit. Right? So,
Yeah.
to avoid getting your landing punished, and I'm going to put on the dock, the higher in the air you are, the more places on stage you can land, but the more time your opponent gets, I'm going to say gets, to react to your landing, which is really important. And I would say it's better to land faster in that situation.
Yeah.
Simply because, like, you want to be balancing your safety with your, what's the word? Your landing. And this, I think you did just a little bit too much safety. So I'm going to put here too. I say this a lot actually. Landing in disadvantage. Not just to you. I say this as like a metaphor. I literally was playing in club today at the college and was telling like some of the newer players this. Landing in disadvantage is like driving a car. Right? Safety first. Of course, you have to be safe. But speed, right? Or essentially getting to your destination. Getting to your destination quickly is also a priority. So you can't just spend, a decade in the air. You have to land. So of course you have to be safe. But if you're too safe, then you're not fast enough, and you just get punished. Ooh, I clicked the wrong thing. Right. So you have to balance that, and that's just something that comes with experience. But it's good to know.
Yeah.
So
I'll definitely keep that in mind too.
yeah. Okay. So that's just a hard call out. Dying at 83 is really tough. And yeah, here again, you're trying to get over it. Perfect. That was a beautiful run under. Okay, so it seems like you're at least somewhat aware of the fact that you can go over and under the Gordo. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what he's doing. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think, especially like at a deficit, I should be doing that. But the idea was that, like especially like with the last stock too, is
Mhm.
that he's jumping up and his jumps are pretty slow, so I should be able to catch it with up B, so long
Mhm.
as I time it.
Funnily enough, I think he has too good an air drift. I think he actually just went past it. Let me see here.
Yeah, it could be
Yeah,
the case too. Now looking back.
yeah. I think his air drift, he just had too much time in that situation. But I like the combo. That's the back air that I wanted to see last game that you were just too you were hesitating to do.
Yeah.
But
Now that I'm at a deficit, I'm like I need to try to get some
yeah,
damage
now
in.
you're starting to like play, which is funny. That's a scary thing at ledge. Good
Yeah.
nair. Okay. A little too high. Again, that double jump is just getting hit by the Gordo. Beautiful dash attack. Honestly, this, because you know he's trying to land on you with a move, you might want to up B this Gordo, especially if you're in the lead. Like that, you might want to just
Right.
up B. Because
Yeah,
that's harder for
that's a
him to
very good
avoid.
idea.
Um, if DDD is landing with Gordo to try to gimmick a shield. You can tank it with up B to call out his landing. Yeah, obviously it's kind of risky, but like in this situation, because you blocked it, it's already too late.
Right.
Because like if you can tank a move, right? Technically, up B becomes like frame 10 instead of frame 15, and that's the difference.
Yep.
Sometimes even earlier. Good idea. Nice.
All right, these next few stocks, or this next stock, I think you're gonna like.
Okay, good pairing. Okay.
Try to grab there.
Good at B. Again, a little risky, but I don't mind risk. Clean. Okay. Clean. Playing for stage. I love it.
Yeah.
Playing for stage. I love it. Unfortunate trade. Nice. Nice. Dude. Okay. Unfortunate. Good match. Okay. By the way, I just want to mention, this is the worst he's played all day, and it's because you are playing like you are going to win. He is terrified. Do you think that he would not have been doing Gordo had he not been terrified? Like, every single time he's been up there, he's been Gordoing, trying to land with a gimmick. He tried to jump away from you.
Yeah.
Look at this. He's scared.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, that's what I mean. Like, if you played like this as soon as the announcer said go, he'd be on the back foot. Like, he'd be...
Definitely, yeah.
Nice. Like, not, like, who full hop air dodges? Terrified players. Like, this, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, this is what I want to see more of. And it's not necessarily that you're winning neutral more. It's just that you're playing more confidently.
Yeah.
And
that's
like,
why I said that. Because I even felt like at that moment, I was like, all right, I'm playing more confidently. Even like after the match, he was like, dude, you're like so scared.
Yeah. I can feel it. Right? And like, yeah, he doesn't break your shield, I was going to say. But like here, you pick the exact same option as before with that double jump. And like, because he has been playing against you while being scared, right? This double jump right here. Same option. But because you, A, went in a direction, it made it harder to punish. And B, he didn't go for an immediate hit like he did last time. Because he wants to play safer here. And you can really take advantage of that. And you do. Like you are right now. Okay, good. Nice recovery. Nice. Honestly, dude, that's... As a DDD player, I'm rolling in every time. I'm surprised you didn't catch that. I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's overcommitting right there.
That was a little too far. However, if you had done an immediate fair, it would have been a little bit better. So let me just see. The roll there was like, you should have died. But immediate fair there, you might actually hit him.
Yeah.
But you played really well. Like this is just a good player. I would not be upset about this set at all. Especially the ending.
I'm not. I know he's really, really good.
Yeah. The difference between you losing and winning this set is the length of time you play confidently for. If you played like this the whole time, it might not have been like a guaranteed win, but it would have been way closer, and honestly I would have bet on you. And like that was a close game already. Like DDD at 74 is very cheesable.
Yeah.
So like good stuff here. Okay. Next set.
Yeah. So this one, I don't think it's gonna be as hyped. This is kind of like my bracket demon at the moment.
Okay.
He also goes to the same school as me, which is funny.
Nice. Where do you go?
UC Irvine.
Nice.
Yeah.
I actually have
So
a couple of bracket demons here,
yeah,
which is pretty funny. But yeah, no, that's cool. Okay,
and he's a Bayo Peach combing, but he went all Bayo this set,
gotcha.
and I think this is more so I need to. I think I know what I did like mostly wrong, but I need you'll see it too. I think I jump in a little bit too much.
Hmm.
Because Bayo is like she can anti-air us so well.
Yeah, no. Bayo. It's not so much that it's a tough matchup, so much that it's just like a specific
Like my
one. That's a
jump.
very interesting stock. Um,
Yeah, that's very funny.
but like one thing that's really important in this matchup is being able to SDI consistently, which is something that I can't even help you with yet. Uh, it's funny that you mentioned this. I actually have two players who I struggle with in bracket. One of them plays Peach, and one of them plays Bayo. But
Nice.
yeah, I'm actually hopefully very soon, maybe even like this Friday, going to be talking with Reflection, who's like he's been beating all the PR players recently. We're all like, we're assuming that he's going to be PR next season. Um,
Nice.
he's a Bayo and Joker player, so like I'm hopefully going to be working with him and just talking about Bayo because I really do not fully understand what to do against this character. But
Yeah.
I think I can. I'm going to try my best to help you here. I think part of it really is going to be SDI, which I'm not super familiar with in terms of Bayo stuff. However, when it comes to anti-airing Bayo and playing against Bayo, I do know a decent amount. Um,
Right. I definitely try to SDI like whenever I can
yeah,
in this set, and then I hope you notice. But sometimes I think like I either forget to or I'm a little bit like too late on it. Like for it to be significant.
I got you. So one thing that's very important to keep in mind against Bayo in particular, right? I'm just gonna skip to this because this is like whatever. But like against Bayo in particular, that side B, like it's very unsafe on shield. You can punish it
Right.
if it's on your shield. Up tilt's not
Right.
very safe on shield, right? So you don't really want to be whiff punishing. You can kind of just react with shield to side B. The problem is you can't
Yeah.
preemptively shield, or else she can do the jumping one, and that is actually very safe, and it combos just as well. So
Right.
like that should be a grab. That should be an up B. You know, I think you're kind of falling into this trap, which is pretty like it's not funny, but like it's something that I see a lot. You'll
Mhm.
you'll not go for a punish like right here. Like you should have up B, and the next
Yeah.
opportunity you get to up B, you do it immediately. And
Right.
like there, I would say it's honestly less correct to go for up B. So like, don't go for a punish if the time has already passed. You know,
Yeah.
and that's something that I do. That's something that happens a lot. It's just something you want to be mindful of.
Yep.
Good afternoon.
100% agree. That's gonna happen a lot. Like I either try like I jump in too much or I try to whiff punish her, and it's like it's just
Yeah,
it's
you're trying to
very
punish something
interesting.
from before.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Greb is a really rough option in this matchup, I would say, because if you whiff it, you get comboed, as I was saying.
Right.
But it's something you can go for if you condition the shield. The only problem is that like if she just uppies on reaction out of shield, then you get comboed, and it's like you can't really play that sort of game. And yeah, Jeb is
Yeah.
just good. Yeah, misspaced, it's fine. Only combo to 27. You're a fortunate guy.
Yep.
I've gotten comboed into like 68 off stage,
Oh yeah.
which is
I
it's
can I
tough.
can understand that. Yep.
But yeah,
This
he
is
gets a
I don't know
regrab.
if it's
He's
discussed
reset.
that much, but this is I'm sorry. What was that?
No, I was just saying he got a nice reset here.
Yep.
What were you gonna
I
say?
wanted to say real quick. I don't know if it's discussed like that much, like among like players, but I think this particular is like a pretty bad matchup. Like it's not our worst, but in my opinion, at least, like it can be pretty rough.
This is one of those matchups that I have to play it more, and I have to learn more about Bayo for me to be confident
Yeah,
on. However, I don't think it's any worse than like slight Bayo, if it's Bayo's favor. I honestly think, like in my head, it's completely even. Um,
yeah.
and like
I can understand that for sure.
I, and the problem is that it's very difficult to explain, but like it's a similar thing to Peach, where like, or even to Mithra, even though Mithra is 100% a way worse matchup, but like you're gonna take a lot of damage, you're gonna get comboed a lot. Escape as best you can, yeah, but like focus on not getting killed, focus on not getting gimped,
Yeah,
and focus on not dying off stage or to like a back air or F smash, and you'll find that you're like living to 200, and that it really doesn't matter. Like
yeah,
you can just it's not even that you get to win neutral more, you get to play it so much more. And like eventually with Ike, again, you only have to hit them with Nair like 5 times. So the longer you get to try that and the longer an opportunity you have to do that, the better it gets. On top of the fact that like, bro, I've seen Sohn. I don't know if you know who Amaryllis is, but Amaryllis is probably the best Bayo in New York, or like one of them. And
okay.
they're like a really well known Bayo. I've seen Sohn STI out of up B like toward the top blast zone at around 60% and just up air and kill like
That's
consistently.
nuts.
It's like he does that like it's a combo. It's really funny. And like I
That's
remember
really
I was
cool.
like I think I told this story in VC once. I was like the most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me at a tournament was me complaining to Sohn for like 10 minutes because I played Amaryllis and I got 2-0'd like I wasn't there. And I sounded a lot like you. I was like, "Damn, Bayo is such a bad matchup." And he was like, "Yeah." And then he sat down and he 2-0'd Amaryllis. And the second game was a 3 stock and I was like, "Oh, okay."
This is what you do, young
Yeah,
grasshopper.
basically, yeah. It was one of those moments.
Yeah, that's funny.
But like, yeah, no, I fully understand what you're saying. It's just that I need more experience with the character before I make that type of decision. Honestly, it might be Bayo favor. Sona is a really good player, and he's like, you know, Ike is a character that swings even though. So like
Yeah,
you can definitely make this work. I really think.
yeah, 100%.
But I want to
I
see.
definitely need to grind the matchup more.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And playing this player would be a great idea. But I do
Yep.
want to see because I think a lot of it is that you're kind of like you're kind of leaning into the narrow a little bit too much here, and that's probably because you're down. But I think it was happening earlier. I want to see just to make sure. Yeah, just to know how many sets have you played up to now?
Um, I'd say 5.
Yeah,
I can double check like exactly, but yeah, I was like around like 5. This is my end of my tournament run, so
yeah. Are you feeling
I
like tired at this point?
kind of.
Yeah, because
I it's so weird because like I notice a lot of people say like the more experience you get, like the more like you'll be able like to keep high energy like throughout a bracket. For me, it's still like even after a few years, it's still difficult to like keep the mental fortitude sometimes.
I
So I'm
fully
not gonna use
understand
that
that.
as an excuse.
No, no, no. It's not an excuse. It's a completely valid thing. Honestly, I think a
Yeah,
lot of it is that firstly, players are very good not so much at having a lot of endurance, but about parsing their mental. Like for example, like if Zero were in a tournament during his 50 win streak, right? I don't think in round one he's playing anywhere near his best. I think he's playing just
yeah,
enough to win, and he just has a strategy that he can fall back on. I think it's a lot about parsing your energy so you can save it for those like end tournaments, right? That game 10 grands. You do definitely like expand your ability. Like you will get more endurance, but it's also like just that you're simply better, and that your worst just gets less bad. you know.
yeah, yeah,
So don't worry too much about that because you're always going to feel more tired at the end of the activity, no matter what it is. But
yeah, for sure.
but in terms of this in particular, I'm seeing a lot of just like general like I guess the word is leaning in. Um, And I think what might help you in this sort of situation is when you're tired, don't focus on landing hits, focus on maintaining stage. And I know I say that a lot, and that's something you were doing against the DDD, but like really like double down and don't even like in some situations don't even try and hit the opponent. Just try and stay in the middle or as close to the middle as you can without risking anything.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a really unfortunate SD from your opponent and from you. But
Yeah, I didn't expect him to get. I honestly never seen that combo before, but it's really crazy, like
I
how
have
like he
seen it
just
way too many times. I've actually
yeah.
gotten, funnily enough, in this exact situation, I actually, so I played against Reflection's Joker, and that's the character that he's been grinding. And I was talking to him just before our set, and I said I didn't know how to deal with Bayo, and that he would help me. But game three, because I took a game off his Joker, he switched to Bayo, and he three stocked me, and it was really not good. But like, he did this combo to me. Whichever one got you off stage, he did it to me, but he reset it, and it was with the most insane thing I've ever seen. He basically got that exact hit, right? He got me here, and I either air dodged in or I jumped in such a way that he got another up B right there, and he comboed me again, and he killed me with the fair, and still recovered.
Yeah.
It was nuts, and that was like my first stock. I was like, oh okay, this is how it's gonna be. But yeah, Bayo can really damage you if you don't know how to escape that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And with that, really, it's just about maintaining reactivity. In this situation, you did get lucky, but like, you want to be air dodging more often than not. You want to be air dodging in towards stage and saving your jump and saving your different resources.
Yeah.
Honestly, even doing
Yeah,
nothing
I
in some
definitely didn't air
situations.
dodge much this set.
Yeah. It doesn't seem like it, but like, there's very few ways she can like kill you for air dodging.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the side B was just too early. Good nair. Yeah, that's what I mean. You're kind of leaning in a little too much. Yeah, it's starting to happen here, but it happens a little bit more later.
Yep.
Good.
And
Yeah.
this was my I just double checked, this was my fifth set
Yeah,
that
fifth
day.
set. That makes sense.
I
Like that's
came what's funny is that from this too I'm sorry, go ahead.
no. It's fine. Go ahead.
I wanted to say I came from a very close. It was another Bayo that I played and I beat before this set, which is
Mm,
pretty funny.
that's nice.
But he plays a little bit differently from this one. And he's our local Bayo, and it was a game three, because it was still best of three, and it was like last hit, but for me. But the thing is, I was at 160 and he had two stocks.
And you
So I
took it,
made like a huge yeah, I made a huge comeback.
dude. That's insane. That's
I killed
literally exactly what I did to Reflection. Only it happened game
yeah,
two. He was on
yep,
60 as Joker, and I was at 150 as Ike. On my last stock, he had an extra stock.
yep. So and he was just like missing combos like the last stock after I killed him,
Mm.
his second stock. And I thankfully got a down tilt fair on ledge when he was up being and then he came a little bit too high. And
Nice,
he was like, "Oh my god, you caught
bro.
that."
That's nice. Honestly, that's really
Yeah.
clean, dude. Okay, you get bats within. Dude, that wave dash was so clean. Wait a minute. It wasn't even like the best option. It just looked really good. Wait, you hit his bats within, and you just get like this insane. Like that was so good.
Thanks. I tried to incorporate a little bit.
Yeah, it's like the rivers. Yeah, he that was actually a really smart dash attack here. Dash attack, and then he jabs because he knows you're gonna try and like either block and not expect a multi hit, or just drop shield.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really smart. Yeah, but like this is what I'm talking about. You're sort of leaning into his moves, and that kind of
Yeah.
like leaning into Bayo is like the worst thing you can do. Like out of any character, you don't want to be leaning into Bayo because you just get upbeat out
Yeah.
of shield. So don't
Yeah.
lean in to your neutral, especially versus Bayo. And I'm gonna put when you're tired, focus on maintaining stage control instead of looking for hits, because that'll drastically reduce the amount of time you're what's the word, you're leaning in.
Right.
Combo. Yeah, you're leaning in here too. It's just a little bit too close. You can also try and block after that and like mix them up, because then they'll go for an up B and you get a punish. But like that's risky. You just want a space and try and stay in the middle. Good side B, by the way. I like this a lot. The side B there was a little early, but here you waited very nicely. You didn't just side B immediately. That's a perfect side B.
Yeah. I definitely need to keep in mind that's a nice option, like the close range side B.
Yeah, and then here. That's just how you deal with it.
Yep.
Was this a game 3 set or a game 2?
Game 2.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch his ABK. Do you think falling up air is a good way to catch ABK?
It is. The only problem is you're doing it preemptively here. So like I was just about to say,
Right.
here you're going for it early.
Right.
Technically it's too late, but I think really you're going for the up air not to catch the one you saw, but to catch another one if he does another one. Really you want to be either predicting it and doing it from a safe distance and walling out with it, or you want to be like catching him afterward while he's still in the air. It's a great way of catching it. It's just you can't do it early, or else then he does it and hits you for whiffing that up air.
Yeah.
Good jump. Beautiful recovery. Yeah. Smart. Okay, he's seen you go to ledge twice. I wonder if he goes for a specific punish on that. Great grab. Unfortunate. He knows his up tilt back air percents. That's scary. I think he tried to punish it specifically. I'm not sure though. Yeah, like see how here you're just kind of you're naring without any real intent, and you just want to land a nair.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you're in the corner there.
That's 100% just trying to focus on getting hits.
Yeah.
Just like you said, it's more important to get control of the stage and positioning.
Because here, like you don't even have to do anything. You can just stand where he's in the corner. Like here, if you just stood there, you're winning. But you jump back into the corner because you want to land with an air. Yeah. Good. You don't even have to side B there, by the way. He's in a lot of lag for that gun.
Yeah. I need to notice that too. It's not that quick
you
of
can
a
just
move.
jump and land. But yeah, that was a fine side B. Not a bad idea. The only problem is you're at kill percent. I would love to see that when he's at 90 and you're at like 40. Okay. Something that I found out very recently is that the more specials that Bayo does, the more lag they have when they land, unless they land with witch time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So like here, I think you have a guaranteed up B because you did 3 of them. I could be wrong, but I think it's enough time, especially because you're not in shield. Like yeah, that could be a grab or something. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
He just got a really nice, well-timed punish. Yeah, and now you're just leaning in a lot. It's tough to, what's the word? It's tough to maintain that type of composure, especially when you're tired. Like being composed when you're tired is very, very difficult. But yeah, you see how right there he was in just such a ton of lag that you got basically nair for free, even though he was trying to shield. Like right here.
Yeah.
Because he did so many specials off stage, like he landed and you just get the nair.
That's pretty crazy. I never took note of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna write that down. Bayo has more landing lag the more specials she uses. There you go.
Thank you.
Good could it be? And something to note is that Bayo's smash attacks, they kind of function like projectiles, but they also function like limbs. So like, you actually get extra frames to punish them, basically. Like that's really what you have to know, because Ike doesn't have a reflector or anything like that. Anything weird that
Right.
he has to know about, but they have similar properties to projectiles, but you can't reflect them. But essentially, if one of them hits your shield, it's actually very unsafe, unless it's
Yeah.
like perfectly spaced. But yeah, that was an iffy game. But you're tired, like it's just I would say like if you can make your mindset more about um, control of stage in those sorts of situations when you are fatigued, you'll find that it's much easier to deal with these types of characters because this type of character wants to get you to 70 and then like find a creative kill, find an early kill. Like really, believe it or not, if you hadn't been so tired, I think you could have had a comeback here. It's just like once they started to up
Yeah.
smash, it was like it's tough because you have to avoid every single hit from here. You know, like he's just he doesn't even have to be creative because the trades are always in his favor.
Yep.
So it's tough, but that's another thing. Like when you maintain stage and you focus on that, I know I keep repeating it, but not only do you get control of neutral to an extent, you also like you're less likely to go to lose a lead or even to ever be at a deficit. So those sorts of situations just happen less.
Yeah, 100%. I'm gonna start now, trying to think that way and like just notice like later on in bracket, like, all right, I'm a little bit fatigued, but I'm just going to,
Yeah.
because I think it's just like an early. It's still kind of like I don't know, like probably the best way I could describe it is like a newbie habit of like autopiloting and then trying to.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't know. It just really stuck with me over the years, even like after like I understood that like yeah, it's not good to lean in and like try to just only focus on getting hits.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be something I have to break.
I get lucky. A lot of times, what happens is no matter who it is, I lose the first game I play of a tournament pretty consistently, and then
Really.
yeah, pretty just because I go into it and I'm like, I gotta win, I gotta medify, I'm a coach, I can't lose round one, and like I lose, right? And then I'm like, I'm just gonna play for stage, and I go hard, I win that. So like, usually for me, losing the first game it gives me permission to play my game. Obviously,
Yeah.
don't throw your first game, but I just find that that's a pattern that happens a lot. Like I'll lose my round one and then I'll go 4-2. I don't even lose the set. I just lose game one.
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
and like the person I play round one is nowhere near as good as the person I'm playing round four. Anyway, I'm watching the next set. But
That's our
yeah, no,
king
no.
right there, Hornet, the best in town right now.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't know. I really do think that I just want to go over stuff. So,
Sure.
and obviously you're gonna get this. Who's this attractive dude? Yeah, I know, right? 30 pounds down, kind. Anyway, uh, when pressuring platforms, keep in mind the percent of you and your opponent, so you don't needlessly overextend, right? Of course.
Yeah.
And that's just the DDD thing. You don't want to be putting yourself in situations where he could get a kill for that. Um,
Yeah.
Make sure you make your opponent's counterplay as specific as possible, so you're forcing them to guess, and you'll win the guessing game more often, right? That's just what advantage is. Um, so like forcing your opponent to be like, I'm gonna drop through forward air here, I'm gonna do something like, oh, yo, kind, thank you for the prime. Wow, thank you so much, man.
Hey.
Awesome. Yeah, I really appreciate that. But make Gordo in particular a guessing game with DDD, so you can hit it back and like if they what's the word for it? If they go for like if they try and hit it back to you, you can deal with it again in a different way. You can go for like intentionally not hitting it back when you could. One thing that I think is really powerful, you face away from it. If you can face away from DDD, you can up air the high one, you can back air the low one, right? Or you could just drop and land and shield. Or you can just drop and roll through it, or you can just air dodge. And like that'll force such a guess because back air's so fast. Up air's not really great for it, but it'll catch the one that bounces for a long time. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
So like I'm just gonna put in parentheses face away from the Gordo throw. I'm just gonna put it in parentheses because you'll know what I'm talking about. Quick draw.
Do you think for the back air that you mentioned, because I've tried doing that before and I think it's just I'm a little bit late on it. Would you do a landing or a rising back air for like
That's
one of those more grounded
so that's the beauty of it. You can
quarters?
do either one. It depends on
Okay.
how it's bouncing, but you can do however you do it however you want to do it. If it's
Okay.
coming at you from the ground, right? Essentially, you have to just kind of know the trajectory of Gordo. Honestly, it might be good to just go into training mode and see how side B works, and like get a feel
Yeah.
for the exact movement of it for all three of them. But like I would say for the one that kind of rolls along the ground a little bit more, that you would do the landed one because it's hard to hit a rising one on that. But for the one that bounces in the middle, it just depends on where it's going to be. You can back air low or you can back air high. And the beauty of facing away from it is that you have all that time to decide, or you can just land and shield.
Okay.
Like empty landing is also very powerful against it because he may go for a side B when he doesn't have a Gordo to throw, and then he's just in lag and you can just take middle. Or at the very
Yeah.
least, it's complete neutral, which is bad for DDD. He always wants to have Gordo out. So like
Okay.
Gordo is like DDD is an archetype is that he kind of plays similarly to Ike. I don't know if you've noticed that. He's very heavy. He takes a lot of hits. He's got a pretty solid disjoint. It's not as good as Ike's, but he also has Gordo. And Gordo basically his goal is to hit you with Gordo more than you hit him with Gordo, so he just out damages you.
Yeah.
Right? Like he just kind of wants to tank more hits than you do. Just in general. Right? So that sort
Yeah,
of thing
that makes sense.
is really important. If you can force him to guess on his own Gordo, it'll be very difficult for him to do anything to you.
Okay.
Um, and yeah, you can also quick draw into Gordo at ledge and like send it back to him as a mix up. At ledge against Gordo, it's very difficult. Um, it kind of depends on what he's looking for. However, if he charges a move, like for example, if he preemptively charges a down smash, jumping is usually pretty safe. Get up attacking it if he's in range is usually pretty safe. You always want to be keeping your head. You just don't want to wait too long because then you get hit for not being invincible. But again, you didn't really get ledge trapped. It was more just that you were getting hit for going over it.
Right. Yeah. And I was
Um,
doing like repeatedly to the point where like he understood
yeah, exactly.
this is gonna be his favorite option. Would you say fair is also a decent way to bounce back Gordo? Because I think I've tried doing that like a few times that set,
If
and
you're
I think it's just
facing,
I was just a little late on it.
honestly, it's one of those moves that's a little bit more precise because it takes a little bit more to come out than Nair does. However, if you've
Right.
got the timing and it's fine, it does hit a little bit farther than Nair does. So if it's a farther away Gordo, that might be worth it. So really, I don't really think
Yeah.
the move itself matters so much as it is that you're mixing up whether or not you hit it back and how you hit it back, right? And how you deal
Right.
with it if you
Yeah.
don't hit it back, right? The more options you do for that, the better, right? F tilt it, right? Jab it. I don't know. I think jab does
Yeah.
4%. It might actually work. So like, I believe it's anything over 2%. I'm not sure though.
Yeah.
So like, really, you can kind of experiment and see what works and what doesn't. Uh,
Yeah. I'll definitely try it out like in training mode, like you suggested, and like
mhm.
to grind the matchup a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
to get an understanding of those things. Do you think I've had like kind of like this theory, and I've heard like some people say too, like possibly other Ike mains, but um, that
Mm-hmm.
like Bayo and Palu basically provide very good practice for like our grounded play because basically in order to do really well against them, it's stay grounded, right?
Yeah, I fully agree with that.
So
I would say with
yeah,
Palu, it's a little bit more difficult to say that, because with Palu, like her options are less reactable. They're a little bit less easy to deal with. Her grounded options aren't amazing, but her grounded pressure from aerials is like as good as her rising pressure, right?
right,
Being able to poke with a rising nair and get a 60% combo, you can also get back air dash attack into up air, right? So like her grounded pressure, I would say, is just strictly better than Bayo's. However, they're both good to practice with. It's just like with Palu, you're probably less likely to like actually win a game for your effort. Um, and that's not to say that Palu's a bad matchup. It's just that it's a different thing. Like, I think that you have to be playing a little bit more. Um, you can play a little bit less careful when it comes to Bayo. Like, I don't know how to explain this. Essentially, being in the air versus Bayo, um, you can still like land with stuff. You can still hit her, right? Palu, it's much faster. It's a much faster paced game usually, and Palu doesn't struggle to kill, right? You're not really living the 200 versus Palu ever.
Right.
So, like you can play a little bit less carefully around Bayo, especially once you've been hit by the 80% combo. If you can survive and like be on stage in the middle of the stage at 80, you're probably going to be there a long time. Right. The only thing you have to
Yeah.
avoid is the jab and the grab, which is tough.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just thinking of like ways like to kind of like start applying like the things that we talked about and just like practice it just so
yeah.
I get a good like at least a better grasp of the matchup next time. So I was thinking of like just going ahead and like grinding both those matchups or maybe just in general. Like would you say there are like some like other things I can look at like when I just play like friendlies in general or
Yeah, I would say
things like that?
you can practice staying grounded. You can practice that sort of thing. I
Yeah.
really do like that. The problem is that I think you eventually, especially so with Palu, I don't think the matchup's terrible. I have to play a lot more of it. I'm not as familiar as I have to be. But like really
Yeah,
what
no
it
worries.
is like you have to outguess her in some situations. And that's not impossible. But I would say where Bayo's even, like dead even, maybe even like leaning toward Ike, although it could lean toward Bayo. Paulu's one of those bad but doable ones, where like you have to outguess her. Her options are slightly better than yours, but you can do it. And if you outguess her a couple of times, you can like really blow her up for it.
Yeah.
So like you know what I mean? It's one of those. It's like Bayo will get you to 80 and struggle to kill you. Paulu will probably get you to 60. It's not a given. Will probably get you to 60, but will not struggle to kill you.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. So it's one of those things. It's a
Okay.
similar thing with Puff Ike actually. Only Ike is on the winning end of that matchup. Like Puff,
Oh yeah, definitely.
like we beat Puff, and it's really not. It's a really bad matchup. But if Puff gets an up air or like a forward air that sends us at that straight angle, they can kill us. It's not that
Yeah.
bad. It's just that they're dying very early, right? So the longer
Yeah.
that they can live, the better. It's just that you have to outguess us, right? It's not an unwinnable, impossible matchup. Like I really don't see that. I don't think Ike has one of those. You know, I don't think Ike is that type of character. I think he swings very even. I think his absolute worst matchups are closer to his absolute best ones than for like, for example, like Pichu. Like Pichu Yoshi's like very very hard, like almost
Oh
impossible.
yeah.
Like the character just beats the other character. You know what I mean? But like Pichu winning a matchup is like very very hard for whoever they're beating. You know? Like that character invalidates or gets invalidated. With Ike, it doesn't really happen like that. We swing
Since
very
you also
very even.
play him, how do you feel about the Roy matchup for Ike?
Yeah, that's a matchup where I feel like Roy just does everything we do better, but if we outguess them, we can win, especially at ledge,
Yeah.
especially off stage. It's not a good matchup. Like I'm not gonna say it's an even matchup, but it's a doable matchup. I think that almost every Ike matchup is doable. The one thing that I think is like potentially not possible, like that type of venture, is like Min Min. Like Min Min might not be a possible matchup for Ike.
I see. So you think that's Ike's worst?
Yeah, I personally think Min Min is Ike's worst matchup because neutral is not great. It's doable, but it's not great. But if we get hit off stage, we should die. Like we should die.
Yeah.
Um, because even if let's say we avoid Ram Ram, right? Even if let's say we don't up B ever and we just side B, right? And we guess the 1 out of 3 options that the Rem isn't going to cover that one time, they can still reset us wherever we go with that side B.
Right.
So like I really don't like you got to be playing out of your mind to take a min, especially at the top level of play, because if you get hit off stage, you should die almost all the time.
Yeah, I can agree with that for sure.
Yeah, that's easily our worst matchup. However, there might be something I'm missing. There might be a way of recovering against Rem that I'm missing out on, and it might be harder to set up than I think. And honestly, it might not be that bad. I don't have too much experience with it.
All I know about it is like if we have the opportunity to get in on her, similar to like Sheik or like Bayo, we can get a lot off, and it's even like better for, against Min Min because her disadvantage isn't particularly the best.
That's
Um,
that's true, but like, I don't know. I don't think her disadvantage is that bad. Like her air dodge is kind
okay,
of slow, but like having a stall and fall, having an aerial that hits well below you, kind of similar to Ike's, having
yeah,
having a fine double jump. The up B actually is like pretty good. The only problem is you have to be on stage. Oh wait, no, you can't do the up B in the air. Never mind. Um, but like, it's not it's not the worst thing ever. I would say her recovery is way worse than just her general disadvantage. But even then, that's like you got to be ledge slipping. You can't counter it. You have to up B it. But honestly, like I could see with optimal play off stage, it being an even matchup, or it being not an even matchup, but like a Palu matchup where it's doable. You just have to outguess them. But like
yeah,
as it stands, like side B is one of those things where it's like you have a 2 and 3 chance of recovering, but if they hit you with that 1 and 3, then you're dead. Right? For example, if they read you going the ledge, you should die with side B. If they read you going high, you should pretty much die unless you have a jump. Like that sort of thing. But with Min Min, they have a 2 and 3 chance of covering you. Right? So like having a mix-up situation where 2 out of 3 options you're basically dead for is really tough because they nerfed it, right? You can't charge it for 3 seconds anymore, but you can charge it for like 2. Like up B is reactable. If I up B against Min Min, I am never living. But side B is also basically reactable, unless I'm doing it
yeah,
super late. And
yeah,
then
because of how the Ram could cover like that little bit of space, like for the ledge, or even like a little bit above. I get
exactly,
hit by that a lot.
exactly. I'm a Min Min hater. I think Joker. I think Joker
That's fair.
is our hardest doable matchup. I don't think it's our like worst matchup ever. I think Sheik is as hard as Joker. Um,
Yeah,
at like
I honestly like the Joker matchup, but that's probably just because I also play him, so
yeah,
I understand a
yeah.
little bit of like how he what he wants to get.
We
It's
can just
only
X
against like
factor him
really
so
really good
hard.
Jokers that like I struggle. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly. We just X factor him so hard. Like we can just kind
Yeah,
of come back with very straightforward things. I really do think it's another guessing game. It's just that Joker has
yeah,
better stuff than we do for the most part. Um,
yeah. Especially with Arsene.
yeah, and honestly, just base Joker and Arsene Joker, I'd rather play Arsene Joker because I'm tanky. I'm living a 160 anyway. Like the moments where Arsene back air kills me and regular back air doesn't are like few and far between. And like I'd much
Yeah,
rather be able to eruption up B. Like
yeah.
honestly,
It's pretty nice.
if Arsene Joker had tether, it would be so hard. It'd be so hard.
Yeah,
But like that sort of thing is really nice. Who else is tough? Joker, Min Min. I'm not a Squirtle fan. I'm not a Mario fan. I think they're doable. They're similar to Palu. I was not a Palu fan for a while. I think it's better. I was not a Bayo fan. I think it's actually really even. Let me see.
I don't like Squirtle either.
I used
Mario,
to
I actually don't mind. I like it.
I used to hate Richter. I used to think that it was just impossible, but now it's like easily even. It honestly might low key be Ike favor. Um,
I played T3 Dom very I don't know if you know who that is. Like he's the
yeah,
best
yeah, yeah.
Richter main in the world.
Oh yeah, no,
I played
easily.
him a lot because he went to the same school as me. I think he graduated now.
Nice.
But like around the time when I first started, I've like always like asked him for friendlies and like even like during tournament and stuff.
Very
So
smart.
yeah, I got some good experience with him, and I appreciate that. So I mean, I don't see any Richters in bracket anyway. But like even
Fair.
like if I'm playing online or like sometimes like I even like grind on the Discord, I don't like struggle so much. Obviously, it's very possible. Like I can just face a better player.
Hmm.
But I know a good amount about that matchup, which is nice.
Yeah. Okay, so these are some of my hot takes. Shulk is
Yeah.
slightly losing, but doable.
Okay.
Mega Man is even. Diddy is also slightly losing. It actually might be -1 just flat, but it's definitely doable. Samus is a pretty
I agree with that.
even matchup low key. Greninja is not as hard as Sheik, but still not great. I'm trying to move through the character list.
Yeah, I don't like Greninja.
Cloud, yeah, Greninja's tough, but Greninja we can do pretty well against. Bayo's even already said that. Rob is not as hard as Palu, I don't think. And I
Yeah,
think
I can agree with that.
I think Peach is closer to even. I think Byleth we go even with. I think Sora we go even with, at least for the moment. Mithra we lose to easily. However, I haven't played. Like honestly, I think if the Mithra and the Ike aren't playing at top level, you can just exploit the recovery so hard. But like at top
Yeah.
levels of play, the better Mithra does. Pyra is just like Ike. Like Pyra's an even matchup. But
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I get scared of Pyra a little bit, like at high percents, because of just like she can just kill you from any stray hit.
yeah,
Sort of like
yeah,
I guess like Bowser maybe.
pretty much, yeah.
Is a good comparison.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's tough, but like we hit them hard, even though
Yeah.
it's not a great matchup. We beat the FGC characters, including Ken and Ryu.
Okay. That I
Um,
need to explore a bit more because I really hate like all of
yeah,
them except for Kazuya, because I think Kazuya, I think I have a better grasp of like his disadvantage compared to the other two
yeah.
or the other three. But like especially Ken, I hate that matchup so much.
No, I fully understand, and I know why, and I know it's because of focus attack. And I'm telling you, you know how Gordo is like the way DDD wins.
Yeah,
That is how Ken wins. If you can make focus attack a guessing game between hitting him for canceling it. For example, what I do against it a lot, I'll up air it, and then I'll force him like either I'm gonna back air you here for focusing, and I'm gonna hit you with back air, or you're gonna cancel it. And then once they cancel it, I hit them for that. Like Ike is still winning. It's just that he doesn't get a guaranteed follow up. He has to force them
yeah,
to guess.
yeah.
It's one of those like focus attack does not destroy our advantage state. I'm sorry, I'm probably adding solo here, but like it doesn't. It does not. Honestly, Kazi is
Yeah,
harder
he
than
put him
Ken.
as a pretty bad matchup from what I recall. It was pretty
Yeah, no,
funny.
no, he put it as one of our worst matchups. Like that's just not the case. But like, honestly, Kazuya does better against Ike than Ken does.
That's crazy.
Yeah, just because of
Um,
the armor and the invincibility, being able to down B through Nair and up B and crouch dash through some stuff. Like that's just a better tool to have because it gives you more options out of it. Focus attack is just something
yeah,
you can land with. It's like Snake Grenade. It's not that good.
yeah. I wanted to say too though, like the thing I think I don't remember the last time I played a Ken. I think it was like a month or two ago. And it was like a really, really good Ken. I don't remember losing too much to focus attack. It was more so if I over like you know how I am like overextending. If I
Yeah.
overextend or I just make like a fatal mistake in neutral, he can just touch and kill me.
Yeah, no, no, yeah. You
And I
play
know
against
Kazuya does the same thing. I'm
you
sorry.
play against Ken like you play against Little Mac. Almost all the
Yeah,
time. You can't interact with him like that.
yeah,
It's tough, but like if you keep him at it's the same thing with Sonic, right? Like if you think Sonic is a bad matchup, like you're interacting, you can't interact with him. Like I goes even with Sonic in this game.
yeah. I can agree with that.
Yeah, it's a very similar philosophy of like if you just keep them out of range, you're fine. And I think that the reason that Roy does so well is because his range is functionally similar to ours, but it's much faster. I think Lucina
Yeah,
also does functionally well against Ike, just in general. Um,
yeah. A
I
lot of
think
people put that as our worst matchup, and I never agreed with that.
Lucina, no. Roy, maybe. Um, Depending on how I see things with Pyramithra and with Miniman. But if Roy's our worst matchup, then Ike is a very fine character. Because Roy is just an outguess matchup. Like, if I outplay you here, I'll win. Pretty much consistently. Like, Roy is one of my favorite matchups in the game. Bravestar, who's like one of the people who goes to my college, is one of my favorite people to play against ever. Currently, he has, I think, an extra set on me, but it's like 2-1. I'm hoping he gets to go to the local that we're gonna have tomorrow because I wanna play him again. But
That's cool.
But like Roy. If Roy's our worst matchup, this is a good game for Ike. Oh yeah. Also, I think Inkling is slept on in terms of being a bad Ike matchup. I think that's a really bad Ike matchup. That might be as bad as like Sheik and Joker, because it's just
I agree.
Being able to dash under stuff is so good.
Yeah, it's really annoying. It just what's fortunate is that you don't see Inklings too much anymore, at least in my area. So
Yeah.
that's nice.
And this is a weird one, but if Fox were a midweight, it would easily be like our bottom 5 matchup. The fact that Fox is so light and dies at 20 is so good for us. The fact that you can fair him once and he might die to the eruption is like the saving grace.
Yeah. No, it's nice for sure. Like I need to learn how to like punish his recovery a bit harder. Because I normally just go for the safe like down air or something. But like eruption is pretty good that matchup. I agree.
Yeah. Okay, it's 4:36. I do have to go. I'll send you this soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, this
No
is
problem.
great. And I'm going to be posting our sessions online very soon. I just have to download the rest of them.
Okay, awesome. Sounds good. It's
Cool.
on the you had like another YouTube channel, right?
I do. I have a VOD archive, and it's all in the Discord.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and also like subscribe to that too.
Sure,
like,
yeah. Make sure.
Easier.
Okay. All right, later, man.
Thanks so much, Conrad.
Have a good
You're
day.
awesome.
No problem. No problem. This is what I'm
You
here
too.
for.
Have a good one.
All right, later. All right, I'm ending stream. Later, guys.